mean to tangle up. In a war with myself at the possibilities and potential, I am forced to choose a path. Steer, veer, fearing a wrong turn, and I'll lose myself. One blood, our blood fused. One life, we choose, who might take on paths towards enlightenment. Entanglement together wasn't guaranteed. Enchanted by the idea that time is what we make of it. We always take advantage. My feelings towards a certain thing or humans are just a side effect of what tangled strings provided when you couldn't. For connection, if we let it get to the best sides of us, I bet it's like knowing yourself. Seeing the best sides of you or the worst through time, elasticity, tinsel, strength, tug, and release, reflect. I am easy to let go of, forgettable, tangible, no longer wanted, the least effective change. When I see a reflection of the same time, I see I am powerful, dangerous, fearless, and kind, to admit that it wasn't right. Okay, it wasn't right for now. It felt right then, and was right for a while, until it wasn't. What affects us both. Better choices you denied yourself come from the tangled up thoughts pulling you away from peaceful stances. Release the fact that things don't turn out as you planned. Let go. Forget what hurts. I forgot what hurt. Beget bygones upset. It's right. I can't let it get the best of me. I keep saying these things. It's time to reflect. I am better off. I am better off. I am better off. We are better off. I will love you forever. To see you happy makes all that hurt good. Thank you.
I took a first date to a baseball game once. It wasn't planned, it just happened by chance. Someone else canceled and I had nothing to lose. So I asked and she said yeah. I was trying my best not to fall in love. She made it tough. The first time I saw her, I was froze. She pierced my soul like a sickle of ice. She's cold and spicy. Opinionated, independent with an attitude attached to no apologies. Makes that salsa verde that everybody wants the recipe. Type of woman that takes the time to separate the stems from the cilantro leaves. Sings along with Chente, but also likes to bump Wu-Tang. She's just enough good and just enough hood. She's that, Mom, I have someone I want you to meet. Mixed with a little flavor of talk that shit with an accent from the streets. Rosia en algo de español, just to give it a little extra heat. She has no regrets, too pretty for makeup, walks tall, all charisma. Her presence commands respect. Take her or leave her, she moves through life 100% authentic. First inning, 1 home run, home team's up. Temps not, it dropped to 65 degrees, and she's sexy as fuck. J's on her feet, jeans got holes in the knees, arms sleeved up, spaghetti strap top, nipples looking tough, like they're trying to bench press those barbells up underneath. I'm trying not to look, but I'm low-key sneaking peeks. Third inning, 3 home runs, down by 2. She took a bite of cotton candy, and I'll never forget it. Some of it stuck, and she did this kind of lick, and at the same time, bit her bottom lip. I saw heaven in her almond-cut eyes while she looked up at me, talking about, did I get it? Stadium lights shimmering off her praline-shaded melanin. I just wanted to melt in her mouth and kiss her so deep. Her tongue reveals to me all of her love languages, and she can taste the sweetness in verses of poetry that I haven't even written about her yet, just in case I never see her again. Fourth inning, 1 home run, down by 3. And that's when I saw her set her beer down while holding a hot dog in her left hand, just so that since she couldn't clap, she raised her right arm up and proceeded to snap. At that moment, I knew she's deep but uncomplicated too. And I wanted to read everything she's ever wrote and listen to every spoken word she's ever slammed. 7th inning, we stretch, each team homers, still down by 3. I hope she knows what it is she wants and what it is she needs. I hope she understands she is not just a muse of words without any meaning. She is not the poem. She is the poetry. I hope she's aware of the differences between these things. I don't know how many hearts she's ever broke, but I am afraid that I am next. No one's perfect. I'm certain someone's hurt her. So maybe she's scared too. We're all just onions. Tears fall heavier the more layers we peel back to each other. I want to trace my love around her wounds to erase all her trauma. I want to make her feel safe to undress her soul. I want to take her on trips, mix her with caps and stems. I want to have a menage a trois with her and marijuana and get bare down to our consciousness. I want to lie together. I want to cry together. I swear to God, I hope we fucking die together. The fans go wild at the crack of the bat, bottom of the ninth. Walk off, grand slam. Thank you.
Don't you know this body is a map of who I am? I want to laugh in people's faces when they think I have these hips from popping out a kid, or two, or three. Is that because I'm Hispanic, born and raised in San Antonio, or do I just have a maternal nature about me? I remember one day I woke up and out of nowhere I was a size 18. I realized that I never noticed my drastic weight gain because I avoided mirrors. It also didn't help when I was at work some years back, down to a size 16, bending over cleaning a dirty table, and some broad asked how far along. I looked down at my stomach, straightened up my posture, and refrained from stopping her while asking myself if being depressed was allowed. Can my weight not fluctuate along the way? At least I eat, sure, sometimes there's guilt involved, but at least you don't ever have to worry about me yakking bulimia or purposely starving myself into anorexia. That experience alone takes me back to one of the first times I actually allowed myself to remember feeling insecure. I was in 5th grade PE, weighing in at 108. Unable to do a pull-up in front of classmates, still can't. Then I skipped straight to a size 5 in 6th grade. 7th started it all, and grade 8 was my prime. I have always been liked by everyone, too cool to get close to, but cute enough to bang, yet I still managed to peak in 9th, looking and feeling the best I ever did. Even then, I was still too big. Literally, that was the first time this asshole said I was too fat. Everything seemed to be going great. That was until he hit me with, maybe if you lose 10 pounds, we can date. The fuck? So I banged his best friend all through 10th. Life was good. I was always grounded, but I was having the most fun. Too much fun, I think. I was either looking for trouble or trouble sniffed out my vulnerability. Because this is when my coach betrayed my trust and broke all realities. This is where I learned the difference between assault and rape. And if I wasn't depressed before, I started on my downward climb to rock bottom. I was digging my own grave 1 pound at a time. No amount of lines could keep the rolls away. I just kept fluctuating. Fast forward to the present plateau of a pickle between the sizes 12 and 14. I did a thing. I told a personal trainer that my motivation or inspiration to get into the gym was because of an ex-boyfriend and the fact that he wasn't physically attracted to my body. Because what he craves is smaller and tighter, therefore pursuing temporary women when all I want him to do is want me instead. It took everything I have to admit out loud that I wasn't doing this for me. How could I expect him to like what he's How can I expect him to like what he sees when I still don't even like to go past a full body mirror? How can I blame him for not making all of this the only thing that turns him on when I didn't even want me in that way some days? But then there are some people that swoon and make me feel like I'm walking on a yellow brick road, which turns out to actually be made of gold. So I'm treated like the queen that I am, and then I become confused because I don't understand. I cannot comprehend why I put up so many walls around the ones that give me everything I want, yet let down all guards when it comes to the ones I need to let go. So I continue to ask, don't you know these curves tell you where I have been? Don't you know these eyes are windows, mirrors reflecting everything you don't want to see? Don't you know the rivers of stretch marks that flow up and down my stomach, looking like the stream of blood that leaves me every month is the natural landscape that makes me woman? Don't you know this body is a map of who I am?
This poem is titled, If This InspiroBot Bullshit Scrolls Across My Feed One More Time, I Am Going to Vomit.
Or
What she said.
Post reads, has a bee ever landed on you and instead of getting scared, you appreciate the fact that you were mistaken for a flower? This is a response poem. I am mistaken for a flower almost daily by drones whose only job it is to pollinate with pretty things, and I no longer take it as a compliment to be seen for my petals and have my roots, stems, stalk, and leaves ignored. This poem is for all the stingers in my teeth, Shortly after being mistaken for something that was not a threat, I was left to pry their fear out of me with my own thorns. This poem is for the late bloomers, seen as dormant when we are not full of color, and when we are in bloom, recognized only for our fertility, instead of alive, always, regardless, even without colorful petals or the ability to bear fruit. To the busy bees, the ones who are only attracted to gardens full of Georgia O'Keeffe paintings come to life, to the ones who prefer the smell of perfume to that of wet fertilizer after rain, to the ones who were not here for the growing. I hate to break it to you, but all this color covers the shit, protects your eyes from the dirt I was birthed from, and I wonder if you would still be so drawn to me if you knew about the mud stains. Would you love just as hard if you knew that you would have dirt under your nails for the rest of your life? So to answer your question, random Facebook post, no. When a bee mistakes me for a flower, I am always scared. I always wilt away. I always wonder if they are hiding a stinger behind their back. I always wonder if they will leave me in the winter. I am always waiting for a gardener to come along and love all of me. To love the dirt and the thorns just as much. To love the seeds. To love me breaking and turned inside out. And finally, after all of that is done, to love the flowers. And to know that when my petals fall, and my fruit rots, I am still alive, always.
States of America has one. A city within a city, an exclusive enclave of old, rich, white people named in Spanish. Ours is called Olmos Park. And according to the local experts, there is a current demographic shift caused by forces both interior and exterior to San Antonio and South Texas, whereby people of this Mexican descent are moving in greater and greater numbers into that exclusive enclave of Olmos Park. Respectfully, I disagree, for it is my contention, and I shall support this assertion, that Mexicans have always lived in Olmos Park. So when you stop to think about it, we Mexicans live in a constant state of Olmos. No, hombre, vato. We almost had our car accident on the way over here. We almost saw the new Black Panther movie, but it was sold out. We almost won that game, if only I hadn't hurt my finger. We almost went to the beach on Saturday, but Jenny had the diarrhea. When my sister got her first tattoo, my abuelita almost had a heart attack. See, those statements each have an air of innocence about them. However, continuing to live in Olmos Park has some serious consequences that lead those in our culture away from sufficient success. I almost was going to make that payment, but, you know. George almost went to the Marines, but he decided to stay at the factory. Freddie almost got away with it, but they gave him the breathalyzer. Janie almost finished college, but she got pregnant. Could you imagine if Cesar almost called his farm worker friends together, or if Henry B. or Joaquin or Julian almost ran for public office, or Selena almost got on that tour bus with their brothers and sisters, or if Edward James almost auditioned for the role of Jaime Escalante? The problem with all of us living in Olmos Park is that we live like stereotypes, all together in one house. Sitting comfortably on the corner of Quien Sabe Court and 8th Only Lane. The white paint is chipped, the foundation is cracked, the house leans a little bit towards the left. 55% of Hispanics in Texas almost finish high school. Of those that do move on, 49% almost finish college. In the last national election, 46% of eligible Latinos voted. That means about 12.8 million Latinos almost made their voices heard. And Ted Cruz, almost Latino. The difference between dreaming of a change and realizing it is an attitude that acts to make the change. If we don't change our cultural attitude, we will always be almost successful. So instead of trying to move into Olmos Park, maybe we should be moving into a dorm room or a boardroom, the mayor's office or the governor's mansion or even the White House. I'm sick and tired of living amongst another almost generation of an almost people. It's time to get the fuck out of Olmos Park.
Excuse me for not giving a fuck. Maybe it's because I was raised in a cartel, life and death go together, the way money comes and goes. You see selling or smoking weed as a wrong, I see it natural. You see the hustle mentality and think it's about being better than others. I see it as doing what's best for our own. Or do we forget that now you crossed the border or the border crossed you, as we say, and you forget your roots? Not all of us were raised on the side in favor of the American dream. Daughter of crop pickers and weed smugglers, and granting those the way to get here, or your judgment only covers what's legal. You shame me because I was raised to never back down from anyone hurting family. But then I realized that my survival mechanisms are the ones that have kept me alive. Humble as fuck, knowing that donde uno come, muchos comen, where today I might be good and tomorrow struggling, but I've done more than my parents, and even then, you shame me. I won't apologize to the American dream for being chingona and cabrona. I was shaped with a big heart, love for my chopped and screwed cumbias and sonideras where everyone is welcome back home, where when someone says I am in need, we try because we are raza, donde no nos rajamos, South Texas where we know car trunks are meant for more, unapologetic for my upbringing because despite it all, I've never had a criminal record, but I'm not scared of surviving, where your ICE uniform don't scare me. It didn't scare my mothers from crossing a river. It definitely doesn't scare me with my fluent English and law terms, culero. Donde me veo bonita calladita, pero me oigo chingona gritando. Where you forget Texas was born from our backs and sweat. You can't shape how I dance, celebrate, and live. You asked for me to blend, and I respectfully fucking decline, Mr. Abbott. Fuck Greg Abbott. Or you forgot you married a silent Hispanic named Cecilia who came from Mexican immigrant grandparents. How easy it is to forget where we came from. My citizenship didn't come with a price to relinquish my roots, especially not my South Texas vibes. There's always room for many, para que entren muchos, and there are always rooms regardless if it's full. I can't help it. I love to love, but I tend to live breaking my piñata heart. I used to swear I'd never ever fall in love again. I swore I would never become my mother's. I'd be smarter with my heart. But here we are, sometimes 3 relationships at a time. And I love so intensely, like I love my barbacoa on Sundays with some menudo on the side, with extra hominy and cebolla and cilantro. I don't love you like a crispy taco whose shell was too soggy to keep it all in. No, but like a double tortilla de maíz and a taco de pastor with pineapple juices from the taquero and his trompo that have been simmering all day long. I don't give half-ass vibes. And if I'm mad, you'll feel it. I'll be mad like that chile de árbol on the nopalitos con costillas de res I fed you yesterday. You know, the one you kept saying was good while sweating bullets and continuing to eat? The one that even the coca kept making spicier in your mouth if you drank some? Yes, that one. And when I'm warm, you'll feel my love. With a caldito de pollo I spent all afternoon making in this 100-degree Texas weather so I can remind you of the love your mom gave you. And if we last and your birthday comes around, I'll spend hours making you my family mole recipe. You know, the one with lots of chocolate, chile ancho, and the beating of my molcajete. Because God knows the blender is a secondary character in my house. My mole sauce delivers the beatings of passion I gave for you to understand my love. Because I don't just like you, I love you. But also with pasión enough to kill us both one day with the brujeria needed for you to never leave. My dad said it's called agua de calzón. I call it loving you with tacos, sopes, gorditas, tostadas, and tamales. If I stop letting people rest here, it's like asking them to take a crispy taco from that Mexican restaurant with the pop music blaring and cold seats and queso on their menu. My love doesn't rain, it pours, and it burns slowly, like the spicy chilaquiles I make you with café de olla, so you'll sober up. I learned this from my mother, using as much serranos to wake up dad for church on Sundays for misa. My piñata heart isn't for the weak, it's paper mache, but it's that good from back home from No Laredo, made for the piñatas that last all the kids in my barrio and their turns and their hits with the palo. And the candy that splatters on the floor has delicious regular sized candy, huge lollipops all mixed up with that nice Mexican candy too, like tamarindos, mazapanes, picafresas, and lucas. So I'll keep this piñata heart, the one my dad calls the hotel, because again, I don't give half-ass vibes. Besides, it lets me sleep better at night knowing someone won't be out there eating American cheese on a rolled tortilla, calling it an enchilada.
Wait, maybe I need Dino Party Source to do it with me.
Definitely.
Fast ass comes cheap and easy. But this ass is worth its weight in gold. Because it's heavy. And I don't mean heavy like it's cataclysmic size. I don't mean heavy like the weight of thick thighs. I don't even mean heavy like a late night double meat, double cheese, add bacon, avocado, water burger with water-sized fries. Washed down with one of those badass deep fried apple pies. Nope. I mean heavy. Stick to your ribs heavy. Like red beans and rice. And collard greens and cornbread and black-eyed peas and ham hocks, because this girl is corn-fed. Heavy, like chicken and dumplings, biscuits with sausage and gravy, the kind of soul food that'll drive a vato crazy. Heavy, like melted butter and vanilla ice cream on top of peach cobbler. That's the kind of heavy that I have to offer. Heavy, like a blanket keeping you warm on those long, cold Texas nights. Heavy, like you've had a bad day, daddy and mama's here to make it all right. Heavy, like bare feet in the kitchen with the baby on the hip. Heavy, because that's some down-home sexy-ass country shit. Heavy, like you need the Lord's Prayer and good graces, and baby, I got your back because I'm heavy. But I'm not too heavy to cut a bad boy some slack. Heavy. Like childbearing hips rocking your ass to sleep. Heavy. Like I'll fucking shake you, motherfucker, if I ever catch you trying to creep. Because I'm heavy. Like a love song on a broken-hearted Saturday. Heavy. That's why I know you'll always come back if you ever try to walk away. Because fast ass comes cheap and easy. But this ass is worth its weight in gold.